In an earlier episode, we gave a knot a fingerprint, a polynomial that tells the trefoil apart from a simple loop. But that polynomial has a second life. The very same expression that fingerprints a knot also measures the power of a quantum computer. Knots, it turns out, and quantum machines are speaking the same language. A knot, to a mathematician, is just a loop of string with its ends fused together. Here are two of them. One is the trefoil. The other is an unknot, a simple circle in disguise. The hard question is always the same. Are these truly different, or could you wiggle one into the other? In the 1980s, Vaughan Jones found a way to answer it. To every knot, assign a polynomial. The trefoil gets this. The unknot gets simply 1. The two polynomials are different, so the two knots are different. No amount of wiggling can ever connect them. Where does that polynomial come from? It is built from a simple local rule. At each crossing, the polynomial of the knot is tied to the polynomials of the simpler pictures you get by switching or smoothing that crossing. Bookkeeping the crossings gives a bracket, and correcting for the twisting turns it into a true knot invariant. The trefoil even comes in two mirror forms, left-handed and right-handed. Their polynomials are reflections of one another, with t replaced by 1 over t. Because the two differ, the trefoil is chiral. It is genuinely different from its own mirror image, and the polynomial can see that. There are different knots that share the very same Jones polynomial. Equal polynomials do not guarantee equal knots. And the deepest gap of all, whether a genuinely knotted loop could secretly carry the unknot's polynomial of 1 is still an open problem. It has been checked by computer for every knot with up to 23 crossings, more than 10 trillion diagrams. So far, the polynomial has never been fooled, but no one has proved that it never can be. Keep that limitation in mind. It will matter when the quantum computers arrive. Jones found his polynomial inside the abstract world of operator algebras. But in 1989, Edward Witten saw it somewhere astonishing. He showed that the Jones polynomial is not just mathematics. It falls straight out of quantum physics. Fill space with a quantum field, a restless sea of fluctuations. Now send a charged particle around the knot and track how the field twists it. Physicists call this a Wilson loop. Average that quantity over every possible configuration of the field, and out comes the Jones polynomial. Here is the magic. The theory Witten used, Chern-Simons theory, has no notion of distance or angle. It can only feel topology. So when you stretch or bend the loop, the answer does not move. The value is a knot invariant, guaranteed by the physics itself. The theory has a single dial, an integer called the level. It picks out one special number on the unit circle, a root of unity, and that is exactly where the Jones polynomial is read off. Set the level to 3, and that number is the 5th root of unity. Hold on to that. It is the doorway to the quantum machines. For uncovering this bridge, Witten received the Fields Medal in 1990 at the very same Congress where Jones received his. His physical argument was later made fully rigorous by mathematicians. 2 prizes for 2 views of a single object. Step away from the knot for a moment and look at braids. Hang several strands side by side. Whenever 2 neighboring strands cross, that is a single move, written sigma 1. A braid is just a sequence of these crossings, read top to bottom. Braids obey a few elegant rules. The key one is this: sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 1 equals sigma 2, sigma 1, sigma 2. Slide the middle crossing through, and the 2 braids become identical, and strands that are far apart just pass each other without interference. Now, the crucial step. Take a braid and close it up, looping the bottom of each strand back around to its top. What you get is a knot, or a link, and a theorem of Alexander guarantees the converse. Every knot you can imagine is the closure of some braid. Our trefoil is the simplest case of all. Take just 2 strands, cross them 3 times the same way, and close. That short word, sigma 1 to the minus 3, is exactly the trefoil from our recap. And this is the bridge we have been building toward. A knot is geometry, a shape in space. A braid is algebra, a word you can write down and rearrange. Jones first built his polynomial from representations of these braid groups, and in a moment, those crossings will stop being symbols and start being the motions of real particles. To turn braids into computation, we need particles that braid, and nature provides them, but only in flatland. In certain materials confined to 2 dimensions, excitations appear that are neither the usual bosons nor fermions. They are called anyones. In our full 3-dimensional space, they simply cannot exist. Now move one anyone around another and swap their places. Stack up the snapshots in time, and the paths they trace are exactly a braid. The very same crossings we drew with strands now drawn in space-time. For the special anyones we care about, the non-abelian ones, swapping them does something remarkable. It applies a unitary operation, a quantum gate, to a hidden state shared between the particles. That state is stored non-locally, smeared across the anyones, so local noise cannot corrupt it. The information is protected by topology itself. And why must this happen in 2 dimensions? In the plane, a braid is trapped. There is no way to slide one strand past another. But give yourself a 3rd dimension, lift one path up and over, and the braid simply falls apart. Only in flatland do the crossings carry real, permanent information. But here is a subtlety that matters enormously. Braiding one kind, the Fibonacci anyones, is universal. With braids alone, you can build any quantum computation at all. But braiding the more common Ising or Majorana, anyones gives only a limited set of gates, the Clifford gates. On their own, they are not universal. They need an extra ingredient to reach the full power of a quantum computer. Have we actually braided anyones? In 2023, teams at Google and Quantinuum did demonstrate non-abelian braiding, but by simulating it on ordinary quantum processors, not yet on a true standalone topological machine. The idea is real. The hardware is still being born. We have followed the Jones polynomial through topology, through physics, and through the dance of anyones. It has one last home, and it is the strangest of all: complexity theory, the science of how hard a problem is to compute. Computing the exact Jones polynomial is brutally hard. It sits in a class called sharp p-hard, so difficult that even a quantum computer is not expected to crack it. But change the question. Ask not for the exact value, but only a good approximation, evaluated at a special root of unity. That problem has a perfect difficulty. It is BQP-complete, which means it captures the entire power of quantum computing. Approximating this one knot invariant is equivalent to running an arbitrary quantum computer. Let us be precise, because every word counts. It is the approximation at certain roots of unity to within an additive error that matches a quantum computer. The exact value is harder still. Blur any of these words, and the statement becomes false. Aharonov, Jones, and Landau turned this into a concrete algorithm. Feed in a braid, and it builds a quantum circuit whose measurements estimate the polynomial. And the magic point? The 5th root of unity, which is level 3, which is Fibonacci. The circle closes. Theory is one thing. In 2025, the Jones polynomial finally met a real quantum computer. A team at Quantinuum on their H2 trapped ion machine, where individual atoms held in place by lasers serve as the qubits. They built a braid with 104 crossings, whose closure is a small bundle of trefoils. Then ran the algorithm on just 16 qubits and 340 entangling gates, estimating the polynomial at the 5th root of unity. The machine returned an answer, but it still carried a relative error of about 43%. Close enough to be real, far enough to remind us this is genuinely hard. Could it beat a classical computer? Not yet. The researchers estimate you would need around 85 high-quality qubits. Their system has 56. The gap is real, and no quantum advantage has been claimed. So let us be honest, exactly as the researchers were. This is a proof of principle, a genuine milestone, not a quantum victory. And when an early news report claimed knots with 600 crossings, it was quietly corrected within a day to 104. Precision matters, in knots and in headlines. Let us retrace the bridge we have crossed. A knot, a polynomial that fingerprints it. Witten's quantum field where that polynomial is the average of a loop. the braid hidden inside every knot, anyone's whose dance performs that braid as a quantum gate, and the discovery that approximating the polynomial is as hard as quantum computation itself. The trefoil we met in episode 2, a simple loop of string, turned out to be a quantum computer in disguise. 2 doors are still open. We still do not know whether the Jones polynomial can detect every unknot, and no quantum machine has yet beaten a classical one at reading a knot. Knots and quantum computers, it turns out, are speaking the same language, and we are only beginning to listen.